Everyone talks about the mountains and the altitude, but what about the stuff nobody tells you about on your relocation to Denver? Today we're going to give you the 9 things nobody's talking about that you sure won't find anywhere else on YouTube. Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim Kampmann, your host for everything Denver, Colorado. I'm a licensed realtor here in the state, and I help dozens of people with their relocations, whether that's Denver or any of the amazing suburbs around. So thank you for joining me on the channel. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, and don't be afraid to reach out, call, text, or email. I got your back on all things Denver real estate. And I also have a free relocation guide that you can download right in the description below. So number 1, your car is going to take a beating. Everything from road conditions where we got potholes and different things that kick up from the road that end up damaging your car, to the mag chloride that gets put down, to our unpredictable weather, including hailstorms. Your car can age in dog years here. It's definitely worth it to get a car wash subscription when you're here, just to clear off all that mag chloride, that stuff that they put down on the roads to keep it from freezing. It's wonderful that it keeps the roads safer, but it does do a number on the undercarriage of your car. So be prepared for that, and make sure you're talking with your insurance company about hail deductibles, because we are slated to get hailstorms each and every year here in the Denver metro area. Number 2, the sun here is no joke. Being a mile-high city and having that extra altitude and elevation compared to a lot of places around the country, we do have a lot more UV rays that come and break through our atmosphere, and you can burn rather easily. So especially if you're making the trip out here just for a ski trip, and you have not only the sun reflecting off of all that white, brilliant snow, it can do a number on your skin and your eyes. So be prepared. Bring your sunglasses, snow goggles, and plenty of sunscreen when you make the trip out here. Number 3, it's dry. And I mean really dry, like desert style dry. We're a very arid state. Chapstick, lotion, and hydration is key when you're coming to visit here. And that is actually what can contribute to some people's altitude sickness when they come and visit the Denver metro area, not being hydrated enough. And I find it's significantly worse in the winter months than it is in the summer. And you would think that while we're getting snow and we're having some of these snowstorms, some of that snow can actually be really dry and not have much moisture content in it at all, especially until we get into the late spring when we have our heavier, wetter snowfalls. So make sure you're staying hydrated, plenty of electrolytes, and lotion and chapstick to prevent your skin and lips from chapping, because it is going to happen here. It's just a matter of when. Number 4, this is a dog-friendly city. You are going to see dogs everywhere around the Denver metro area. And not just like your parks, playgrounds, dog parks, and open space. You're going to find them in stores, Home Depot, grocery stores, shopping, restaurants, bars. Denver is definitely a dog lover city. So if you don't love dogs, it could be a problem for you. You're going to find that there's probably more dogs here than there are kids here in this city. Number 5, trash services and recycling. Now, I know Colorado's kind of got the moniker of being an outdoor, environmentally friendly state and city with all the mountains, hiking trails, biking, and outdoor living activities, but the state's really not into recycling that much. I know a lot of places will have recycling bins and trash bins out. Most of the time, those actually end up going to the same place. I hate to break it to you if you're conscious about recycling, but a lot of times they're ending up in the same landfill here, and people really don't care and aren't paying attention enough to separate the recyclables from the stuff that's non-recyclable. There's not many compost places around. I know in certain pockets of the country where they're very conscious about renewable energy and things. They're very focused on recycling, but really hasn't caught on here. Definitely not as much as solar panels, and I really wish we'd be more recycle conscious than solar panel conscious, because I see a lot more value in that. Number 6, we're going to go to the culture of Denver and the state as a whole. So if I go back about 20 to 30 years ago, Colorado and the Denver metro area had very much a kind of laid back but more blue collar, Midwestern vibe to it. Definitely an old West town, but as it's grown and expanded so much, we have so many people from different parts of the country, a lot of influence from our neighbors out in California, and a lot of influence from our neighbors to the south down in Texas, people relocating here. And so we've got a big mosh pit of different cultures kind of coming together, but we still have a very much a laid-back vibe. It's probably definitely more of a West Coast than an East Coast vibe, and it's really kind of taken off to where people, and there are a lot more people that are looking for more balance on the play side of life than maybe the work side of life. So we have a lot of work from home opportunities here, and yeah, it's definitely hard to work from home when you have beautiful weather out in February and you could hit the golf course or take drive up to the mountains and go hiking in almost the middle of winter and have 60-65 degree days around you. So the vibe here is definitely laid back, probably a little too laid back for some people. And number 7, I hadn't noticed this until I started visiting some other places around the country, but we don't have very much diversity in grocery stores. There's not a whole lot of Trader Joe's. Thankfully, we have a few of those. There's no Aldi's here. There's no Wigwam. There's not a lot of grocery stores that are actually nationwide chains that are across the U.S., but they're not here in Denver. So basically your options are Safeway and King Soopers, Kroger brands. Those are the ones that are going to be primarily here. Yes, you have your Costco and your Sam's Club and Walmart, but if you're looking for a lot of diversity in your grocery stores, you're not going to get that. We just don't have those shops here in the Denver metro. Number 8, the Denver real estate market. A couple of years ago, and even up to about halfway through 2023, we were so fast paced. Everything was still selling very quickly. And with the higher interest rates, we did get a little bit more balance. Now, certain times of the year are going to be very, very competitive to buy a house inside the Denver metro area, and especially inside kind of the interior of Denver. As you move out further to the suburban areas and some of the rural communities, it definitely slows down quite a bit, and it's a lot more balanced. So you do have a lot more inventory to choose from if you're thinking of a move here, if you are looking in one of the suburban areas or rural areas. But if you're looking in the heart of Denver and you want to be in one of the prime neighborhoods like South Park Hill, Wash Park, Berkeley, or any of those neighborhoods that are kind of on the inside, on the interior of Denver, prepare to come in with a very competitive offer and a lot of competition to buy those houses. Now, you can get a little bit more house for your money and a little bit more value if you move out from there. So if you are thinking of a move, hitting the suburbs might be your best option to get quality home with a little less competition and maybe a better value overall. And number 9, homeowners insurance has been skyrocketing here over the last few years, which is, I find, a little bit odd. We don't have as many natural disasters as a lot of other places in the country. We definitely have wildfire risk in the mountain areas, but that really doesn't make its way down into the interior of Denver or the suburbs around. If you live in Evergreen or further west from the city, yes, you're going to have to pay more for fire mitigation and make sure your house is properly prepared to mitigate the risk of fire danger. But it's a little strange that our insurance rates have gone so high when we don't have earthquakes, we don't have hurricanes, we rarely have floods, but they've gone up substantially. Now, what we do have here and what some people are not quite prepared for are hailstorms, and that is probably one of the bigger reasons why we have seen a big increase in the amount of insurance premiums going up. It's because those happen fairly regularly, and a lot of people do file claims on them to get their roofs replaced or their cars fixed or windshields replaced. So make sure when you're shopping for a home that you do your due diligence with your insurance company. It's wise to shop several different companies to compare the coverage to make sure the premiums are in line with what the home value is. Now, another thing I want to tell you, be cautious about this, because a lot of insurance companies are starting to change their policies and not insuring or not offering full replacement value if your roof is more than 10 years old. And a lot of homes in the Denver metro area are going to fall under that category. So this is a challenging time in real estate negotiations where if you can't get the roof insured, the person selling the house may have to offer a concession for it or may have to end up replacing the entire roof, and that can be a huge $20,000 to $30,000 bill coming due at the time of the sale of the house. So definitely you want someone in your corner that's a pro, that's going to know all the ins and outs and all the different neighborhoods around the Denver metro area. So make sure you hit me up, call, text, or email. Don't forget to download that free relocation guide to Denver. I got your back on all things Denver real estate. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.